Hello Captains, welcome back to the channel. I am UncleSam. This week's World of Warships Blitz, we have 3 massive pieces of news to share with you all. First big news, Blitz has officially launched the highly anticipated batch of the German cruiser tech line. Second big news, my channel has officially reached 40 subscribers. Thank you so much for every single captain for your continuous support. This channel exists because of you. For the third big news, and the main event of today, the developers has announced a massive and complete equipment rework coming in the updates 9.2 and 9.3. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into this equipment overhaul that will completely change the game's meta and affect every single player. Before we get into the details, we need to understand how this system works. Future equipment will no longer be standard and specific legendary items. Instead, they will be divided into 3 categories: standard, improved, and legendary. In the upcoming update 9.2, the developers will first introduce a brand new concept of standard equipment. In the past, there existed a definitive best build for a ship. To break this stale meta, the developers are introducing a core concept in 9.2 called trade-offs. Simply put, future equipment will be a double-edged sword. Whilst they provide powerful stat buffs, they will also come with a corresponding negative effects. To make it easy to understand, I have categorized 22 new standard equipment launching at 9.2 into 5 categories: main battery, secondary battery, torpedoes, aircraft, and maneuverability and protection. We will look into the maximum tier 3 stats to see exactly what price you have to pay compared to the old equipment you are familiar with. First is the core of your damage output, the main battery. The first piece of equipment, Precision Rangefinder, reduces the main battery reload time by 5%. The old main battery modification 2 reduced reload speed by 5%, but lowered main battery survivability by a whole 25%. Now the cost has changed to a 10% reduction in main battery traverse speed. Second piece is Powered Traverse Gear. The old main battery modification 1 straight up gave you 20% traverse speed with 0 drawbacks. The new version gives you 14% main battery traverse speed, but the trade-off is a 5% decrease in main battery survivability, meaning your guns will get knocked out much easier. Overall, this piece is much worse than the old version. Bird Control Radar. The old main battery modification 3 simply reduced maximum dispersion by 7%. The new version reduces the maximum shell dispersion for both main and secondary batteries by a huge 9%. But the trade-off is a plus 2% increase in surface detection, making you easier to spot. Next up is the secondary battery, a favorite for German battleship mains. First up is the secondary battery director. This equipment got nerfed pretty hard. The old secondary modification 2 gave you a 10% range and negative 10% dispersion. Now, the new version only adds 6% to your range, and the trade-off is that your shell dispersion actually increases by 5%, making your secondaries less accurate. Dual-purpose gun. The old secondary battery modification 1 has reduced the reload by 15% with no drawbacks. The new version reduces reload time by 12%, but you have to pay the price of a 5% reduction in range. Destroyer and torpedo players, pay attention, huge changes here too. For torpedo equipment, compressed air launch system reduces torpedo reload time by 5%, but the trade-off is minus 3% of torpedo speed, different from the old trade-off of lower survivability. For the torpedo firing panel, this is a completely new concept of standard equipment. It increases torpedo range by 6%, but the trade-off is a 7% reduction in the chance of starting flooding. This reminds veteran players of Gearing's exclusive torpedo booster, which also traded a longer reload for 8% torpedo range. Now, the developers has finally brought the torpedo range buff down to a standard equipment. For category 4, aircraft and airstrike equipment, this category is split into 2 parts. First, for ships with airstrike capabilities, such as Dutch cruisers. Airstrike modification reduces this reload time by 7%, but comes with a trade-off of 3% surface detection. This is absolutely tailor-made for Dutch cruisers and is highly recommended. Strike Squadron Catapult reduces airstrike speed by 9%, but lowers your chance of setting fires by 5%. Next is aircraft carriers. Oxygen systems reduces the tactical dive bomber attack dispersion by 7% and increases aircraft torpedo speed by 7%. The trade-off is a 7% increase in tactical aircraft preparation time. We know that the US carrier wowsb also has tactical aircraft, so I strongly recommend prioritizing this equipment when grinding that line. Extended hangar capacity and squadron command network. The old carrier hangar modification increases one aircraft capacity by 20%, but deducted 10% from the other. This new version simply increases aircraft type's capacity by 14% with a trade-off of 5% increase in preparation time for that aircraft. Rapid sortie cycle. The old ground service modification 1 reduced all aircraft preparation times by 10%. This new version reduces bomber and torpedo plane prep times by 12%, but your fighter prep time increases by 15%. Category 5. Maneuverability and protection equipment. The final category has the most items and heavily impacts ship's survival and positioning. Let's look at survival and protection first. Reduced visibility profile. Concealment build players, here is your trade-off. The old concealment system modification 1 gave you a painless negative 10% detection. Now, this new version only reduces detection by 7% and shockingly deducts 5% of your ship's hit points. Internal protection scheme. This is a brand new standard equipment, as standard equipment never gave pure HP before. This new version increases ship's hit point by 6%, but the trade-off is a 5% reduction in max reverse speed. Strengthened hull framing. Increases damage reduction by 4% at a cost of 3% decrease in torpedo damage reduction. Self-sealing fuel tank. The old damage control system modification 1 gave 10% resistance. The new version adds 4% fire and flooding resistance, but the duration of fire and flooding will increase by 5%. Hardened deck plating. The old deck protection modification 1 only reduced fire risk by 20%. The new version adds 8 deck armor and reduces fire risk by 6%, but the trade-off is a 7% reduction in max speed. Now, moving on to maneuverability and anti-aircraft, high-pressure propulsion plant. The old propulsion modification 2 simply has 5% max speed. This new version increases max speed, acceleration, and deceleration by 6%. Power system survivability drops to a massive 15%, making your engines extremely vulnerable. Enhanced steering gear. The old steering gear modification 2 added 15% acceleration and reduced repair time. This new version increases max reverse speed by 6% and acceleration by 10%, but the trade-off is a 5% increase in your main battery maximum shell dispersion. Proximity fuse. This old air defense modification 2 only adds 10% small caliber AA damage. This new version significantly buffs both large and small caliber AA damage by 24%, but the trade-off again is a 5% increase in maximum main battery shell dispersion, making this not recommendable for most snipers. Anti-aircraft director. The old air defense modification 1 gave 10% AA range. This new version boosts this to a plus 20% AA range, but at a cost of 5% reduction in main battery reverse speed. After going through these 22 new standard equipments, we can be absolutely sure of one thing. Future builds will no longer be a single god-tier right answer, but will spawn many unique and extreme playstyles. This will heavily test every captain's understanding of the ship's role and gameplay. However, if you notice that some of your favorite old stats have gotten weaker, like concealment giving less value or costing more, please do not panic. Developers have specifically stated that update 9.2 is simply laying the foundation. When the complete system arrives in 9.3 in August, there will be even more equipment and options to be released. Players will be able to stack multiple specialized equipments to achieve even more extreme and powerful stat setups than the old system. Also, I am sure many veteran players and whales are worried. Our exclusive legendary equipment has spent tons of resources going to be useless. Please rest assured, this existing exclusive legendary equipment will be completely preserved. What update 9.3 will add is universal legendary equipment that can be used across multiple different ships, and both systems coexist perfectly, so your hard work will not go to waste. At the same time, update 9.3 will also introduce a brand new currency tied to equipment called bonds. The developers emphasize that this currency can only be obtained through playing the game, and can be used to exchange for improved equipment with stronger stats or lower negative stats. Let's all look forward to the arrival of this completely new equipment system and hope it brings something new to this game. Captains, after hearing about this rework, how do you think the future battlefield will change? Is trading torpedo speed for a few seconds of reload or sacrificing HP for concealment a worthwhile trade for you? Which new equipment are you looking forward to or afraid of the most? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. Finally, thank you once again for helping this channel grow to 40 subscribers. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Uncle Sam. I'm Uncle Sam, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.